us as individuals to enjoy ourselves, to enjoy God, to enjoy His presence. And yes, happy new month. Yes, people, it's a new month. I am super happy that it's a new month and God has been super good to us. Yes. God has been too good to us. And this morning, it's morning here. So if you're any part of the world where it's evening or afternoon or whatnot, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, everybody. So in this new month, last month we were discussing on how we were celebrating our beautiful women who were doing amazing things in the society, and there were really great comments, great feedbacks from that. I am super grateful for everyone that tuned into the show last month. I am super grateful. God bless you. Real good. Now this month is a different one because our focus this month will be on family, marriage, sex, relationship, everything under that. And this month I have my guests are too amazing this month. My guests are super amazing this month. And it's been great. Next week I'm gonna have a duo, so to be like a couple. Don't let me tell you all the gist. If I tell you, you know everything I want to say. So no. So if you're just tuning into Life Matters with Adedire, you're wondering what is Life Matters with Adedire? What kind of stuff is this? Okay, so Life Matters with Adedire is basically a radio show or a show that we come here, we discuss life matters, what's going on with us, and how we can also still, while you're talking about your problem, you find someone else that has that problem, and how some other people have dealt with that problem, you get a solution through it. I believe we know what I'm saying. Hello, my people on Facebook. How are we doing? So today we're going to be talking about abusive relationships. Yes, trapped in abusive relationships. And I know that you'll be wondering, no, I've never been abused. But think about those things that person said to you when you were like in your high moments, high people, when you were in your high moments, your low moments. Think about those things people said to you when they basically did not even want to talk to you, when you're trying to talk to them and they talk to you as if you didn't mean anything. Look at the day where the person kind of spoke in a, spoke with you in a very bad way, or the day the person mistakenly, because they say, oh, he just mistakenly hits me. No, I was the one that talked too much. Well, we're going to discuss all these things today, and why you should never be trapped, and what are the solutions, what can we talk about, what are the things that will help us come out of these kind of relationships where we feel lower than ourselves. Your self-esteem is already in check when you're already looking at yourself, and the person is talking about how, I see how you are, you're so fat, you're so this. When the person starts verbally abusing the relationship, abusing in your relationship, when the person is mentally abusing you, when the person is physically abusing you, sisters, brothers, don't let me lie to you. Brothers are going through these things. Yes, brothers are going through these things, and it is so sad that because people will say they are men, and so men should be able to do this. Well, you're still the same people that will say men should not touch women. So we're going to discuss all that today. But before we start, I always have amazing tunes for you. Now today I have one very funny song. I don't know the lyrics really well. I can't translate it for you. So for those that are not Nigerians that are listening to our show, well, just like how you are lost when the person is singing, I'm also lost, but we have to enjoy this tune. This is Neighbor by Kella Trails. Now, I don't know, the title of the song is Neighbor. So I think in Warri, instead of calling like someone your neighbor, that kind of thing, you just say neighbor, that kind of thing. So yes, so if you're listening to me in any part of the world and you don't understand what I'm saying, don't worry. I don't understand, but this is Neighbor by Kella Trails, and I'm sure you're going to love it. So let's listen to this great tune, Neighbor by Kella Trails. Hello, my people. I have no idea what it is. Oh my God.
This is the day that the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. All of my shackles are broken away. Shaka shaka to the enemy's gate.
Hello, people. Who's my neighbor here? I love it too. I love this. This is so funny. Okay. Hello, Trills. Wow. People. If you love that tune, just go straight. You can check this at I got this song. Welcome back, my people. If you love that tune, you should copy it on just Google Nebo, like Nebo at Keller Trills. Yes. So it's an amazing song. I really love it. So what he's saying is, I think it's one of those songs that you remember there was a time there was a movement where there were people saying that gospel rappers. Welcome, Pastor John. How are you doing, sir? So there were gospel rappers that came together and started writing songs and talking against the old science student movement. And what was it about? It was when there was that particular song called Science Student by a mainstream artist, and what people felt was that it was promoting drugs and whatnot. So it is very, very important that you should not rely on yourself, and that was part of the things the song was saying. Don't rely on substances. If you're trapped in an abusive relationship and you feel like it's only a substance, or it's one substance or the other that's gonna break you out of it, my brothers, my sisters, like the song said, it's only the Holy Spirit that can be your rescue. So never rely on any substance. Yes, never rely on any substance to try to go or break off the whole abusive relationship or whatnot. It is very important, my people. It is very, very important. Make sure that you seek counsel. You talk to a counselor. Some people go about seeking counsel from the wrong people. So go to godly people that know the Lord, love the Lord. And if you can get a counselor, there are health centers too that you can go and share your burdens with. And if you feel like, oh, you want to be anonymous, don't worry. You can send a mail to Life Matters with Adedire at gmail.com and send us mail. We get mails from people and talk about their struggles and what they've been going through. And my brothers and sisters, people are going through a lot. But like we've said, we are not solution providers. God is the solution provider. So we just give you pointers to how you can be a better person, live a better life. And yes, life is always better. I'm telling you that when we talk about relationships, one of the things that pops into your head is love. And part of the things that pops into my head in love is being in the relationship with the right person. Yes. And when the person makes a vow to you, when the person says, oh, I love you, I want to be with you, let it be something that it is true. Don't say you love someone and your actions are the opposite. It doesn't work that way. The love that God has for us is genuine. And this morning, I'm going to be playing a beautiful tune by my amazing big brother, Timmy Dakolo. This song is called The Vow. And it is saying that as a man to a woman, as a woman to a man, you should promise to be true, to give your heart to the person you love. And yes, if you love somebody, you will not beat the person, you will not abuse the person. So this is The Vow by Timmy Dakolo. I hope you enjoy it. Hello, people. Hello, people. Okay. My people on Facebook, my people on Instagram, welcome, welcome, welcome. Happiness, and I wanna give you nothing less. I promise to be true, to give my all to you, no matter what they say. This heart belongs to you. I praise the Lord above for giving you to me. Forever's just the start. Forever. Hi, love and shoes. Can you please send me a request? It's saying that I cannot add you up on the show. Please send me a request. It's saying unable to join. So please, can you send me a request so that I can add you up on the show? Turn it to reality. Be your friend. It's saying unable to join at Love and Shit. I promise to be true, to give my all to you. No matter what they say, I grad girl. Congratulations to Bushandi. Yesterday was a grad. Praise God, Thompson. Congratulations. Forever's just the start. Baby, I'll be your soldier. Fight your battles. Baby, I'll be your shoulder. You can lean on. Baby, I'll be your husband and your best friend. And there's something that I wouldn't do. Just as long as you're true to you, I promise to be true, to give my all to you. No matter what they say, this to give my all to you. No matter what they say, this heart belongs to you. Hi, Abiola. How you doing, darling? Forever's just a start. Forever's you and me. I pray the Lord above. I thank the Lord above. Forever's just a start. Forever's you and me. Hello, people. Forever's you and me. Oh, my people, my people. Yes, how would you say you love someone? How can forever, welcome back, my people. How can you say you love someone? How can forever be with someone when you are abusive towards them? Is that possible? I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I don't see that working in any way where you say you love somebody, you say you're in sync with somebody, but the person is abusing you. I'm trying to add up my guest this morning, but while I wait for my guest to come on the show, this is part of the reasons why. Okay, let's discuss this morning. And part of the things I want us to discuss is, what do you think are the reasons people are trapped in abusive relationships? What do you think is a major reason why people are like bent on sticking to abusive relationship? I don't know why I can't do this. This is very weird. This is very, very weird. So why do you think people are trapped in abusive relationships? And part of the reasons, number one, is fear. Wow. Okay. Go live, unable to join. I have no idea why. Okay, so if my guest is the fear of finding another person. Okay, so Bade, if you are on Facebook, we can also still do it on Facebook, or we can use your personal account, or you know what, people, we can do something. We can go live on Love and Ships, people, and I'll still be on their live, but I will be the guest on there. So Love and Ships can go. So people, let's go and follow at Love and Ships. So Love and Ships, you can go on live now. And I'll come join you on the live. That's one thing we can do so that we let people learn and get educated this morning, because we don't know, probably it's a glitch, a technical glitch where she's able to add me up on a live, but I'm not able to add her up on my live. So if you have Facebook where we can add you up, that's perfect. And if not, you can go on live now and I will join you on your live show. Hello. Finally, we bless the Lord. Wow. Hi, Bade. How you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I am good. So people, yes, so I'm live. I'm still live on my show, but we're going to extract the video from Bade's live. So please, when we're done, please save the video so that I can extract it from your feed when we're done. That'll be really perfect. So people, this is Bade Momoh. She's a relationship coach and she manages Love and Ships. Now, funny enough was I actually followed the page this year, and there were some very, very, very amazing stuff that were going on that page. And in my mind, I'm like, what's going on? How is this possible? How do people come up with different questions? I see questions that you post. I see different quotes that you put on the page. And I would say that you're doing an amazing work. Give people more education that love actually happens. People can fall in love. People can be in healthy relationships. And it is amazing that you're doing that great job. So today we're discussing trapped in an abusive relationship. And for you being a relationship coach, from your experience, how much have you dealt with, and how would you deal with a lady that comes to meet you and says, oh, I'm trapped in, they don't see it as a trap though. or how would you say when you hear the word trapped in an abusive relationship?
Okay, so the thing is, everybody's story is different. It might be an abusive relationship, but so many, like, there are always different stories. So for you
Okay.
to advise someone in an abusive relationship, you have to understand where they are coming from and
Okay.
why they are in that relationship. Because you're going to think, oh, you're an adult, you should not, you should leave, you should be able to leave. You don't even have to come to me for help. You should just leave. But when you understand why they are in that relationship, then you can advise them accordingly. There are so many
Okay.
reasons why people are stuck in relationships. They don't know they are stuck. Some people know they are stuck, they want to get out. Some people don't even know they are stuck. Okay, so
Hmm.
one of the reasons are people, like society as a norm, we normalize abusive behaviors
Hmm.
like a lot. You would be surprised. So the other day I was on Instagram and I saw a post about asking. They were asking for people's advice. The husband slapped the wife, and people were
Hmm.
asking, if you were the wife, what would you do? And I went through the
Hmm.
comment section. I was so like, I was really perplexed. I was really surprised. Okay, why are people saying this? Lots of people were saying, would she slap him back? Why would you leave because he just slapped you? There were so many
Hmm.
like comments resembling
Hmm.
that, and I was surprised. See,
Hmm.
all we need to understand, someone is asking which society, this
In which
society that we have,
society? Everywhere, both home and abroad. My sister, my
normalize
brothers. It happened here
relations
too.
like abusive behaviors a lot.
Hmm.
We believe, okay, just because another reason is because it's this ride or die mindset that we teach the younger ones. We even teach ourselves. Okay, we believe
Hmm.
that, okay, the more the relationship, like, it doesn't matter how happy the relationship is or how healthy the relationship is, we believe
Hmm.
it's how long the relationship is. So people will try to
Hmm.
stay in that relationship as much as they can,
Hmm.
regardless of how abusive it is.
Hmm.
And the point of what people would say, okay, people
Hmm.
are scared. What would they say? We've not been dating for so long, and if I leave
Hmm.
now, it will seem as if I'm the problem. Like, so many. Someone just said, what did you do to him that made this made this slap you? This is one of the things we are saying. It's not about
Hmm.
what you did, it's about the reaction. Like, you should not
Okay.
abuse someone just because of what they did. If you're not happy with it, you
Go,
just leave.
even go as
Like, I don't
God
understand
bless
people.
that person. Okay, but I had a particular one where the lady said, well, if you do something wrong, why shouldn't the person what they call it, why shouldn't the person beat you? And I'm like, what up? What's going on? And I noticed that most times the number one factor people are stuck in or are trapped in abusive relationships, the number one reason is fear. Now, someone is asking, is this in an African society? Yes and no. It's not only in African society, because I have seen closely a lot of even people that are not Africans but are trapped in these abusive relationships. Yes, they will say they will call the cops will do this, they will do that, but still they will go back to meet this guy. I have seen a lot of them. I have heard stories of a lot of them that will still go back to the same guy just because of the fear of, if I leave him, what will happen to me? If I
But you
leave
know
him,
that
what will he say? Okay.
it's not everybody that is stuck in an abusive relationship that is scared of, okay, if I leave. Like, some are in it. Okay, there's this mentality. And it's also not everybody that are in abusive relationship that grew up in abusive relationships. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
someone that is from, like, their parents, they have a very good relationship, very good marriage,
Yeah.
and then they get
Yeah.
married and they start thinking, okay, the husband becomes abusive, and they think, oh, my parents were married for so long, why should mine be different?
Hmm.
Do you understand? It's not
Hmm.
the fear, it's not about the, it's just that, okay, what would people say? I want to be better. Do you
Hmm.
understand? They understand that they are in an abusive relationship, but leaving is not an option for them because they feel, okay, my parents are still together. Why would I be in a broken? Do you understand?
Hmm. So what
So you
will
need to
people say? That my
why
parents
they
did
are in that
35 years
relationship.
of marriage and I'm just doing
You
less than
understand?
5 years. So the fear of um should we call it the societal pressure behind what do you call it? Okay, so someone
This
is
right,
saying I was an
right.
example, but thank God for thank God for it delivers.
Yeah, I think it's
I agree the man or woman should leave if the relationship is abusive, but there are people with the mentality to stay for their children. That is another one. Children. Yeah, Bade, you were trying to say something.
yes. About I'm going to address for the staying for the children.
Mm,
Trust
that's
me,
still
it
fear.
does no good for the children. You're only
Mm,
teaching your children that okay, it's okay. You're going to teach your
mm,
sons that okay, it's fine for you for a man to beat his wife, and the
mm,
wife would still stay with him.
mm.
They see it as love. That is you should not
It's not
pass that to
love.
younger generation. That cycle has to you
Mm,
have to break that cycle. So you're continuing that
mm,
cycle by staying in that relationship or that marriage.
mm,
And for your daughters, you're also telling them that it's okay for a man that loves you to beat you because of course they're going to think, oh, my mom loves my dad, that is why she's staying with him. So if a man is beating you and you're staying and you're thinking, okay, you're teaching that daughter that okay, it's fine for a man to beat me. So
mm,
when she finds herself in a similar situation, she's going to stay as well. And nobody, I'm
mm.
sure nobody, no parent is going to want their child to be beaten or
So,
abused.
so that is
So
when believing
very
abuse is a normal thing.
exactly, it's very
Mm,
wrong. Please
mm,
don't even think about. Don't say you live because of the children first.
mm,
Think of okay,
mm,
we have to break this cycle. Leave
mm,
because of them. Don't stay because of them. If it's an abusive relationship, please leave. You're not doing good
mm,
for the children. You're not
mm,
hurting them.
mm, mm. Okay, so
Yeah.
someone said the children need to be considered, and I think people are getting the wrong way. We are not saying pack your load and leave the children in the man's house. We are saying that pack your load and your children and run for your life. Yeah, it's a very gray area because people actually contend it, and most times we see that once the woman is a balanced person, both mentally and financially, most times the court awards it, especially if they're younger children. And there's some times where they even actually invite the children to court if they're like old enough and ask them, who do you want to be with? Now, if the children over the years have seen that my dad hasn't been a good guy over the years, most of them cling towards their mother. So even under the law, most times we have people that go towards or get towards staying with the mother because they don't want the same thing to happen to them. And you notice that most times the fathers still do the same to the children. They beat the children too. So I believe
You know
okay,
what
so
happened where you're
do you
going?
know what happened where you're
Or
going,
what
or
is
do you
going to
think the woman
happen
should
where
remain
you're
single?
going? I think that's what she meant.
Yes. Personally, I would say she should take care of her kids. I am a big advocate of things can happen, things can change, the man can change, what they call it. The man can change and become a better person. But the first thing that I was trained to be, because I was part of Federation of International Female Lawyers, like worldwide, and one of the things they train you to do is that once you see an abusive relationship going on, the first thing that should happen first is separation. First, get out of that toxic environment. That's the first thing, because the life of you and your children are at stake. What if one day the woman becomes, what they call it, the man beats her to death? What happens? And we're seeing a lot of
So
those cases.
perhaps that should she remain single? Yes, I would say it's better for you to
I
remain single than to be in
Yeah,
an abusive relationship. If
yes,
I hope that answers the question. You should remain
yeah,
single and this goes for both men and women.
mm,
Remain single until you find someone that would appreciate you and respect you enough not to eat you or abuse you.
mm, mm,
In an abusive,
mm,
you better be single,
yes,
honestly.
yes. So he said it's not easy to raise a child alone. No, we're not saying that you will never get married or whatnot. No, we're saying that if you're staying in that relationship and you know it's toxic, please pack your load and first get separated first. That's the first thing. Save your life. See, be the truth, buddy. And I don't know if you've seen this thing where people say, I stay because of my children. My children had this. But if you die, the man will marry another person that will take care of your children. So what's the
Take your
point?
decision
Like,
and
why?
have you go to.
Yeah, you're
So
saying something.
that's a very wrong. When a man marries another wife, of course, another woman would not take care of the child the way you would take care of that child. So
Yeah.
staying is not even an option. Shouldn't be an option. Don't
Yes.
stay. What are you staying for? To be beaten all over? Like, it doesn't really make any sense to me. Stay in an abusive relationship. Even
Mm.
parents don't beat their children anymore. Not talk of an adult beating another adult, saying it's love. Really? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't
That
make
is
any
very
sense.
true. That is really true because these days now they're giving you different. Should I even bust your bubbles? But there was a day that I was watching something on CNN and they were saying that there is a new technique where you have to seek the consent. So there's a consent provider. So what they do is when you give birth to your child, let's say you give birth to a baby today. Now, for the first 3 months, they will always come do checks with you and what they call it. And this, what they're to do is they're supposed to look at the baby's psychology and the baby will be you have to seek the consent of the baby because every time, and I'm looking at it like,
I agree with, sorry to interrupt, I agree with Freddie. The biggest problem is how the guy child is raised. We need to change
hmm,
that. Exactly. This is why you do not
yes,
stay in an
yes,
abusive marriage because of
yes,
your child. Because you're teaching that child, you're raising that child to believe that it is okay for a man to beat a woman, to beat his
yes,
wife, which
yes,
we should change. Yes, we need to change that. So
yes.
please, you're doing that child a favor by leaving, not by staying. We need to break that cycle. Girl
Okay,
child
so
should be raised.
someone is saying that what if she ends up being another abusive relationship? Like what if she leaves this particular person? And let's imagine she's single and probably they had a child together, right? Let's imagine that she's a single mom, or even if she's not and she's in another relationship with another person. Now, the moment she's in another relationship and she sees the traits, now before you enter and get married, there's some traits you would see. Now, when the person is angry, what does the person do? Oh, I know, he doesn't even beat me, he just throws stuff. No, he doesn't get angry. What he just does is, when he's angry, he tears, he cuts my clothes, or he tears our pictures. Sisters, brother, those are signs that this person will be really toxic. Those are signs. I
We're
believe that
having
most times, okay, you're saying something?
okay, continue. Let's finish up.
Yes, it's not easy to see it, and that's why there should be a balance. Now, it's not like you're trying to like talk about your relationship with different people, but you seek counsel around you. There are some things that when you sit down, and that's why we said there are sometimes it is what they call it. Sometimes it becomes a normal thing, especially when the person was raised in that kind of home. My dad used to beat my mom, so I've heard ladies say, I can't date a guy that won't beat me. And I'm like, so for that kind of person, the person needs a good psyche check. Like the person needs to be educated and understand that love erases fear. That's what love should do. So when you are so scared that when the guy just walks into the house or comes to visit you, you're already shaking, you're already clearing the table, there is a problem. I
Same
don't know
point
if
I
you
was going to. When you are having disagreements and you are scared of what you would do, trust me, you should not be in that kind of a relationship. If you're going to be scared that, okay, it might raise, not even the way he screams when he's angry, the way he loses control. If he loses control, see, a man that loses control, when any person that loses control when they are angry would likely eat you one day, like one day, because
yes.
they are not in control of their emotions. They can't when they are in that state, you can't tell what they would do. So you have to leave that relationship or make them see someone, basically. So she's saying she's a
Yes,
living witness.
yes, yes. Yet,
Like,
Yvette, you're very correct. Seek counsel from correct people. If you can get a counselor, it's very important. Or not from people that not from people that have never been in a relationship. Then Bimsi, I am super happy that you're a living witness. She said she had been in that state before, and she's super happy that she's a living witness. I am grateful to God, and I believe that prayers also work. There are times where, as friends, if you know that this particular person is in that kind of relationship and you've spoken to the person several times, as friends, as family, the next thing I would advise to do is pray for the person. See, when the Lord opens the person's eyes, the person will understand that this is not the definition of love. This is not the definition of love.
and I
That
don't
there's
understand what she meant by she's a living witness, because it seems she's advocating that, okay, you should not leave. So I don't know if she left or she's still in it, or she's saying, I don't understand where
No,
she's coming from.
if it's being a living witness, from what I believe, well, she can explain, but if you're a living witness, it means that you were being in that kind of situation and you left, and you're a living witness to it, that don't stay in it. Because what she is saying is, what if the person goes into another abusive relationship? Then look at the thread. What is it that you also do? Sorry, what did you say?
When she's going to, she said, she asked if, okay, you go into another relationship and the person is a wife beater, you leave, you keep leaving until you meet someone that would not abuse you. You should not even accept it. You should not, like, you should not even tolerate it. It should not even be an option. I don't understand this. Like, we should not promote it. When you see a friend that is in a relationship, doesn't matter how long that relationship is. Because some people, you'd say, okay, you'd see them, they've been in a relationship for a long time or in marriage, and then the man saw this bitter, and then you said, okay, hasn't beaten her for the past 10 years. It just started now. She must be the problem. Or just tolerate it. He would get over it. Please don't advise that person to leave. The fact that he's starting now does not mean that, okay, it was perfect all this while, or it was just leave first. When you leave, then you can now start about, oh, okay, see someone. But don't stay in that relationship. Don't live with that person. Yes,
and Bade, do you know that
of their lives anymore? I don't understand. A woman still stabbed a man the other day, like I think last week or 2 weeks, was on social media. She stabbed him because she was trying to protect herself, because he always beats her. Like, I don't understand. Just protect yourself. Leave first.
Leave first, leave first, leave first, leave first. Separate yourself from that toxic environment. That's the first thing. And I wanted to say something that once you see the pointers, you would see the pointers, except if you want to be blinded by love. See, when you fall in love, or when you get in love with someone, please go with your 2 eyes open. There is the first 6 months love stage, where it's opening the door for you, being a lovey-dovey, you're doing everything together. But the moment you start seeing the signs, and there's signs to it, people, let us open our eyes. If you see your friends that once the guy is coming, my friend, you have to go, and so and so is coming, and you will not like. The moment you start seeing that, there's a problem. Then, as a human being, and I always tell my friends, as a human being, let's all have a bridle tongue. Don't talk to people anyhow because you feel, oh, I'm muscular than the person, or I'm bigger, or I have more money. No. Because some people even get beaten outside, not even in their relationship, but how they talk to other people outside that environment. So you're walking on the road, someone probably mistakenly does something to you. And you know, it's in some streets, some very toxic streets, probably in some parts of the world, where if you talk anyhow to some people, so shine your eyes and make sure that you're not also talking anyhow to people. But the very, very first pointer, once you see signs of that kind of toxicity in that relationship, please leave. It is very important. And yes, Prince Adekombi, put God first in your relationship. God will not give you what will ruin you. He will not.
But do you understand that people in emotional abusive relationship, they tend to lose their self-esteem?
That was the next thing I actually wanted to tell you.
Them, like, the abuser makes them feel like, okay, like, I'm doing you a favor. Nobody else will do you. You can't meet someone better than me. So it puts them in that mind frame of, even when it gets physical, even when the abuse gets physical, they think, okay, there's nowhere to go. If I leave him, nobody else will date me. I'm like, he's doing me a favor. It's the best that can happen to me. Do you understand? It messes with. That is why before you can advise someone, you need to understand why they are in that relationship first. Do you understand how much it has messed their head up? Because as much as sometimes it might just be emotional. It might not be physical, and sometimes it might be both, and sometimes it might just be physical and not even emotional. Do you understand? There are some people that would beat you up, and they would the way they would apologize, you would think they would never do it
Their
again.
mother self and bring their mother, and mothers should stop doing that thing. Mothers that come to beg wives that their husbands beat. If it was your daughter, would you come like, I don't know, it hurts me, like in the society, both in the African, mostly even in the African society, mothers that come to beg their daughters to stay with a guy that beats them. I don't know, if it was a daughter, I know you will not do that.
Yeah, and there's this honeymoon phase that comes after maybe like a session. It beats you. It could be sex. Maybe the makeup sex is really good. And do you know some people actually, the reason why they have all those disagreements or fights is because of makeup sex. And also this honeymoon phase that comes after it, where he buys you things, or do you understand? Or she decides to cook your favorite soup, or do you get this honeymoon phase that comes right after the
Sorry, Bade, can you please pin that comment I just wrote so that people know what we are doing?
How would I pin it?
So just tap on it and it's write pin comment.
Okay.
So people know what we're talking about. Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was saying that the honeymoon phase, like that comes right after the abuse, traps you more. It doesn't matter how nice it becomes or how nice she becomes after the whole abuse thing or whatever she does, like just leave. It's just a trap. It's just trapping you more. Like when the honeymoon phase is over, the cycle starts all over again. Like, don't get deceived by all those things, or she decides to buy you things, or do you understand? Just leave. Doesn't matter how much she begs or how much he begs. Oh, just put yourself first in every relationship that you have. Like, you have to put yourself first. I'm not saying you shouldn't love your partner or anything, but if it's becoming abusive, you have to think of yourself first. Okay, see,
even the Bible says love your neighbor as yourself. So you have to love yourself first before you even love your neighbor. If you don't love yourself, know how you love your neighbor. Is as simple as ABC.
There is nobody to love if you're not there. Like, you're the person he or she loves, right? Oh, it's because you love. There are some people that actually make you feel that, okay, the reason why they're busy is because they love you. They're trying to make you act right. No, that happens a lot. They're trying to make you act right. So just leave, because the person that they love, if the person becomes dead or becomes injured, you end up landing in the hospital. You won't be available anymore. So keep yourself for them to love. Like, make sure you leave. Let them love you from a distance. Don't stay there. You have to, like, I try to say this as often as I can. Just leave. A relationship is not a do or die. Like, it is not a do or die. This mindset of, okay, ride or die, I understand it. It's good. You have to be loyal to your man, blah, blah, blah. Be loyal, but not to the point of you injuring or putting yourself in harm's way. Just leave. I'm
God
not saying
bless you, Adedire. She said she left. She actually left. It is great. That is one great thing you have done for, like, the universe to be very. Okay, so Grace, Grace is saying that spiritual, financial, and emotional stability is needed personally before entering any form of relationship. Very correct, Grace, because let me tell you that some people even use financial abuse to hold people down, to hold them down and say, because they know that they're. What do you say?
I think that's the most common one.
And let me give you an example. So I was in this conference, I think 3-4 years ago when I was in school. But yeah, 4-5 years ago. And it was organized by one of the churches in Ibadan. And the funny thing was, this girl came out and said, my friend, and you know that when a statement starts, my friend was in a relationship, and the person gives a very clear cut, you know, it's the person. And this guy was the one paying her school fees. He was the one buying her clothes. He was the one doing everything. And she felt that you know, when you are doing something for someone, when God gives you something, you give sacrifice unto him, right? So that's what she felt, that him beating her was like a form of offering, because of she had to endure it because she was trying to get the school fees and everything from it, and which was very bad. And that was what part of things people said. So a lecturer said it was mentally and physically abused. It was very nasty. I am super happy that you are alive today to even tell the story, because a lot of women are dead. A lot of men are dead based on these kind of things that happen to them. And I'm happy that you broke free from that trap of staying in that kind of relationship where the guy, he certainly doesn't love you. It is certain.
So Chiamaka is saying that most women are mentally and emotionally abused. It's not
Yes.
just women. I think men are also.
Men are. Let me tell you. Do you know that the percentage of men to women is now increasing super fast?
Yeah, I agree. So there's this story I heard about a popular blogger that got married, and less than 3 months she got divorced. And when asked the reason, she said that he bullied her. He was always bullying her. Even before they got married, she gained some weight and he was always calling her fat. And she slipped into depression. So she had to leave when she was thinking of committing suicide. Like when your partner is supposed to make you feel good about yourself. It doesn't matter how much you weigh. If he doesn't love you the way you are, I don't think you should be in that relationship in the first place. Because when you can't, you shouldn't even be in a relationship with someone you're not attracted to. So if you feel they're no longer getting attracted to you, if there's something you can do about it, but if there's nothing you can do about it, I think it's best for you to leave, because you would not only be frustrating that, frustrating yourself as well, because they're going to react to whatever it is they are saying about you. So just, if you can't be worked on, just leave. Because in her case, if she wasn't strong enough to leave, she would probably have committed suicide or done something to herself. So I think to just leave if you feel if your partner is always making you feel bad about yourself, that is emotional abuse. Just leave. That's just, it was a very long act.
Miriam is saying that when men don't have money, they're very aggressive. They're very aggressive.
I don't agree with that.
The teacher said it was a very long, hard 3 years, but I'm so much happier now. I feel free. I felt so suffocated and brainwashed, and he brainwashed me to believe that all his actions were love. Stand up. Money is not everything, though. What they don't get. You don't. Can you beat yourself? That's the first question I ask most of those people like that. Can you beat yourself? Like, can you take cane or belt or blala and start beating yourself? So if you can't do that, why would you do it to someone you say you love? No.
Good. BBC is saying women need to forget that mentality of wanting to marry a man like their father. Really, I don't think a lot of women want to marry a man. I don't think that's not true.
The kind of father, Grace. I know some lady. I have a friend that wants to marry a man like a father, and that's because her father is the sweetest. They're very close. He knows everything about her relationship. Like someone like that. That's what they call it. Stitches by Brimat. I need someone to do. Yeah, you can send DM to either Love and Ship, so you can send a DM to me or send a mail to Life Matters with Aanu Adedire. You can send a mail or you can send me a direct DM and we can talk about it. You know, the funny thing was, because they were super close, she already knew the kind of things that a man had to do to her. Do you understand? But where we see where women don't draw the line is where we said earlier, when you said, when you see that your dad does this to your mother, it becomes normal. That is where we have to know that what they call it, where when you tell them they're in abusive relationships, they will say it's normal. They will say they can't date someone that cannot beat them.
But do you also understand that there are a lot of children that don't even understand their parents' relationship? They don't know what really actually goes on in that relationship. This is why even your parents' relationship, I would not say, okay, once you shouldn't want, just create a path for yourself, because see, most parents try to protect their children from what actually goes on in their own relationship. You don't know what happens behind closed doors. So really saying you want a man like your father, there's this neighbor we used to have. We had like 2 neighbors, and there's this one that beats his wife like normally, like everybody knows he beats his wife. And there's this other neighbor that would always say that, okay, I love this man. I like the fact that he doesn't beat his wife, the way he respects his wife, the way he treats his wife in front of us. Like, do you understand? I always wanted that kind of relationship until I realized that they actually fight, he beat her behind closed doors. The one that the other one would beat and the wife would be screaming. He actually wants his wife to never shout. He beats her, but she must not scream, not to alert us. Do you understand? But they come out and act as if they are perfect. So you should not. Sometimes you don't even know what goes on in your parents' relationship. Just pray for a healthy and work towards a healthy relationship and work towards it, because you don't actually know what goes on behind closed doors. You'd be surprised, honestly. You'd be really surprised by what happens in. So children would not even understand it. They will say, "Oh, my the way my dad treats my mom, I want that kind of a man." You don't understand. Fine, it might actually be true. It might respect her a lot and do all those things for you, but also you don't understand what they've been through, how the process. So please don't even wish for anybody else's relationship. Just pray for your own healthy relationship and work towards it. As simple as that.
I hope we all know abusing physical alone, so that your dad doesn't beat your mom doesn't mean he's not abusing you. Yeah, we've talked about all the. Okay, so for those that are just joining us, welcome to Life Matters with Aanu Adedire, and this is a radio show that is hearing live on AmenRadio, and we transmit every Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. Nigerian time, 11 to 1 p.m. Alberta time, and 5 to 7 p.m. GMT. And what do we talk about? Different life issues. Today we're talking about trapped in an abusive relationship. And we've talked about emotional abuse, physical abuse. We've talked about financial abuse. We've talked about psychological. I think we've not dealt with psychological abuse, but we've talked around psychological abuse, where the man tried to actually beat the woman that makes her feel less than herself. Now, what do you feel about cultural and religious reasons? And that's because people feel that what will the church say? What would they say in my religious society? Oh, when we just did our wedding, and people get stuck in that kind of thing. Or in our culture, you don't leave your husband's house. How do you get out of relationships like that, where you are scared due to cultural or religious reasons?
Okay. The first thing is, okay, so I use analogies a lot, so pardon me. There's this friend I have that when she was in a relationship, it was a really good one. And then when they got engaged, he proposed to her and they got engaged, and it became very abusive. Not physically though, but emotionally and all. So and verbally. Yeah, so you know how it is, how social media is, when a guy proposes to you, you put up pictures and it gets reposted, and you get major blogs carry it. So that everybody knows that, okay, oh, you're engaged, you're expecting your wedding date or invite, and then nothing. So she was really scared of that. She didn't want to leave because she was thinking, oh, he loves me. If he didn't love me, he won't propose to me. And eventually I had and she was scared of telling her parents that there's no more a wedding, because of course, you know how African parents, Nigerian parents, how they react. Oh, my child they've told almost everybody that their child is getting married. Yes. So do you understand? I think the most difficult part for her was telling her parents, because she didn't know how to tell them that, okay, they're going to they actually told her to deal with it, that, okay, just be patient. He loves you. He's going to change. We're going to talk to him. And do you understand? So eventually what she just did was, she didn't have you don't need anybody's permission. Honestly, I'm sorry, but you don't need even your parents' permission to get out of a relationship or a marriage. You're the one in that relationship. Your pastor, your imam, whatever, your spiritual leaders, they're not going to be the one in that relationship. You're still going to be the one facing all those things. So you don't need their permission to leave. You didn't need their permission to be in that relationship in the first place. So it's for yourself. You have to think like an adult. I'm going to assume you're an adult if you're in a relationship. So think like an adult and just leave. Make that decision on your own. That, okay, fine. this relationship, I'm not going to cope in it. I'm not happy. Do you understand? Just leave. You don't need to think about all those cultural. I don't know if it's my own mindset, because I'm sure people be like, oh, it's so easy for you, or you're making it sound so easy. But just think about yourself that first, that okay, you're the one facing it and feeling it. Just leave. Just leave the relationship. You don't need your parents' permission. And I repeat, you don't need anybody's permission. You don't need your parents would, I'm going to assume your parents will still love you regardless of I'm sure you've made more mistakes.
Yes.
And they still love you. So they're still going to love you. And I'm sure that they love you. They love you still. They would want to advise. It's coming from a place of love. They don't want you to be single, blah, blah, blah. Be an adult. Just leave. How many people actually put God first and ask for his direction before getting into it?
Now,
see, I'm trying not to be religious.
Okay,
I'm actually trying not to be religious because
just 1 minute to talk about one thing Freddie said earlier before you make that comment. And Freddie said one thing. He said that where's the place of God? And Freddie, most times is they're actually, and let me tell you the truth. God has given us the grace. He has given us the brain, and he has given us. If you're a Christian and you look at Psalm 1 verse 1, it says, "Blessed is the man that stands on the counsel of the ungodly." So even the Bible gives you props that you should be around wise counsel. Now, everything is not spiritual. I always tell people, if you're in an abusive relationship, the bulk of the work is not just God; it's actually you. Because a lot of the reasons why you're trapped, and there are a lot of Christians or Muslims or whatever religion you say you are in, and a lot of them are actually trapped in those relationships based on religious reasons. So the first thing I tell you is, if you have prayed, you're sure about that God has spoken to you, that this is your husband, God will not give you the person that is going to kill you. So the first thing I will tell you is, get out. This is not about sentiment. Even if you heard clearly from God, get out from that toxicity. First, when you get out of it at the moment, then go back to God and say, this is not what you promised me. If you're a Christian, the Bible would also still say that the thoughts that God has towards you are thoughts of good and not of evil, to give you a future and a hope. Now, God will give you a future, not in the hands of a man that will kill you. So I always tell people, as Christians, as Muslims, and whatever religion you're in, please, please, and please, there are some things God has given you this concability, this sense to use, that you don't need. You don't need the angel to fly and say, my daughter, my He believes that because you have this, he gave us trees and your what they call it. He gave us trees so that you will so that we can make different things from it. It's the same way God has given us the brain, that even though you have prayed, both in whatever capacity of your religion, as long as you are sure, when you see that kind of thing going on in your life, please run first. So Bade, I wanted to comment on the other thing he said.
I read the story. I don't know how true it is, but I read the story the other time. I think that was about last year. So about a man that they got married, a young couple. I think it was barely 3 months. I think he was feeling, you know how this ego comes up that, okay, I'm the man. Then one day he beat his wife. I think it was barely 3 months. Yeah, he beat his wife. And okay, he went to work the following day. And while coming back from work, he bought lots of things. Okay, just to appease. He regretted his actions actually. Yeah, he's going to appease his wife when he gets back. And he got back home and he didn't meet his wife. He found out that she had packed all her things and she left. She went to her parents' house. The following day, he went to the parents' house and tried begging. Went with his family. They begged and they said no. Like they said no. Like, the father of the boy actually told him that they're going to annul the marriage and all. So he left. The guy actually wrote the story. He had to see a counselor, worked on his anger issues. About 2 years later, back and courting her properly. And now they get back together. And the guy actually wrote it at the end that the best thing the wife did for him was the fact that she left. That is very happy. Like, thanks God you did. that she left that first time. Because if she had not left, he is very sure that he would have continued that behavior. And he doesn't know how it would have ended. But the best thing she did for him was leave. It made him appreciate her more. It also made him like, okay, he loves this woman, and if he continues this attitude, he's going to lose her, and he doesn't want to lose her, so he had to work on himself. And when he wrote the story, I think they were about 10 years married before he now had to write this story. So the best thing you can do for yourself, and that man that you think you love, it's leave. Because if he loves you enough, I'm very sure when you love people, you do things you go out of your way for people you love. So especially for bad, when this behavior is very bad, so you're going to work on yourself. If he's not working on himself to get better, I don't think he loves you or she loves you. You know, okay, fine, this person, if this attitude or this behavior would make me lose this person, you are going to want to stop it or work on getting better. So if they're not working on getting better, that means he doesn't love you or she doesn't love you. So leave, please.
It is very important. It is very important. And one of the things that I like that you said the man said was he was happy that she left, but because Bade, this is because the man wanted what they call it. The man wanted that change to happen. He sought counsel, and that's part of the things we are saying. Nobody is. Please leave this post on your page afterward. It will be on Bade's page, but I'm going to extract the video and put on my YouTube channel at Aanu Adedire, so you can watch it. Also, we're streaming live on Facebook too, so you can also watch it on Life Matters page too. So yeah, because we're not saved on my own page, but to save on Love and Sheep's page. But please, you can get the extract of it on YouTube once I extract it today, and you will see it on my YouTube channel. Like I was saying, the man wanted change in his life. How many people actually want change in their life?
Sure, not so many.
People ignore this sign,
but they're not willing to work for it.
Yes, you're very correct, buddy. They don't want to work on it, even or work for it. And yes, people ignore the signs at the very beginning. People ignore it most times. And I think it's sometimes the love rush that's like Bade said, that first 6 months honeymoon honeymoon process. But not everybody. If you seek good counsel, they will tell you what you're doing wrong. So Bade, I wanted to go to the financial part of it. How do you think how can you advise women about them walking away when they're in it because of the finances?
I've always tried to tell ladies that you should be financially independent when you're in a relationship. You should not depend on a relationship for your financial needs. It's very wrong. A relationship is not a bank. It's not a financial institution. So you should not even think of. You should not even think of a relationship as a way for you to make money or a way for you to live the kind of life you want. It's very wrong. And it's people like that get stuck in that kind of relationship. True. Because when someone thinks that, okay, you're dependent on them, they feel they can get away with so many things because, of course, they're giving you something you need and you're not going to be able to get, even if you're going to get somewhere else, you're going to actually suffer before you get to that stage. So it's easy for anybody to manipulate you when they feel they have something on you. So as much as possible, it doesn't have to be so much. Just be sure that you have a source of income or something you're doing that can get you money, so that if you need to leave, you can. It's not going to be because you cannot afford to rent a place by yourself. Do you understand? You can. Sure. A girl actually, I think I posted it on the page. A girl that has been living with a guy for about, I don't think I posted it. She wanted me to post it, but I didn't see any point. She has been living with a guy for about 5 years. And now she actually wants to leave because she realizes that the man might never marry her and she feels stuck. She left home early, like she actually left home very early. Now her parents are saying they can't take her back. Wow. And now she can afford to live on her own. Do you understand? What would you expect her to do? Now she's stuck in that relationship. That is a perfect example. So I'm just going to say that try as much as possible not to look at relationships as a kind of financial institution, because a lot of girls do it. Okay, they think, oh, he's rich, he can take care of me, and they just go into that relationship. Or he's going to, or relationships where, or marriages where the guy pays you salary. He pays you salary. Okay, he's going to give you, let's say, 100K a month. Don't do anything, just stay. And what if he decides not to give you that money anymore? What happens then? Work for your own money. It doesn't have to be a 9 to 5 job. Do something for yourself. There are lots of entrepreneurs out there, like they're doing something for themselves. Like, it doesn't have to be so much. You don't have to leave home early in the morning and come back late at night. Just do something that can give you your own, that can make you independent. Please be independent. Like, even if not for yourself, for your family. Like, there are just so many, there are so many reasons why you should be financially independent as a woman. Aside the fact that you can be able to take care of your own family, you'll be able to take care of yourself as well. So those that, if you're in a relationship now that you have your financial, like all your financial needs are dependent on that guy, this is the time to start thinking of doing something, like how to make a man that even loves you would want you to be independent financially. It doesn't mean that, okay, you're some people actually want some. I've met a couple of guys that don't want their wives being stressed. They're going to say, okay, I don't want one boss bossing her around and blah blah blah. It doesn't, they can easily help her invest like that. Just make sure that you have your own money in your own name to yourself. Like, just make sure of it. So if you're in that kind of relationship, please, this is the time. It's not, I'm not saying you should leave, but
get out the way.
Start working on getting your own money, so you won't be stuck. If you are stuck already, this is the time to start strategizing on how to get money or start working. There are lots of online businesses. Just Google is your friend. There are so many things you can do with even so little money that will get you some money in return. So
why would you even be trapped in the first place? There are so many people that are trapped. BJ Fab.
I'm sorry, it's a guy saying that, and a lot of people don't even understand they're trapped.
Sure.
A lot of people don't even realize it, that they are trapped. It is, it sounds like, okay, you're put in a room and they open a room and they tell you go in. You can have anything. There are lots of things in your room. You can, do you understand? And then you don't think you're trapped at that point. But the moment you want to leave, it might be 10 years from now, it might be 20 years from now, but the moment you try to leave is when you realize you're trapped. So a lot of people trapped in those relationships, they don't know they're trapped. So it's you saying, why would you even be trapped? You don't feel trapped. You don't feel trapped, or you try. You don't know it's a cage until you try to leave. Then you realize you can't open the door. So just this is the time to just be financially independent. It doesn't. So I've spoken to a lot of people that are saying, oh, I need a lot of capital. Where would I get it from? Google is your friend. There are lots of businesses you can do that don't even require as much capital as you might think.
Yes.
So the fear of starting is what is causing some people not to start. Like, okay, because they're thinking, oh, I would need so much. They don't even bother asking, okay, how much do I need? So just do something.
Another reason I believe people are trapped, and I don't know. I think I don't know I think it happens to both men and women at this point, and that is immigration status. So you come to the abroad and you meet one fine girl, and that, I think a lot of it happens to a lot of men and women out here. They're abroad. I've heard a lot of stories about the UK where women beat their husband just because she was the one that made him get access into the country, and vice versa too. So immigration status, where the man knows that he's the one that has brought you here, has made sure that everything is working well for you, how would you leave that kind of abusive relationship? You're abroad now. Everybody already knows you're abroad. Everybody knows you. The man is the one that is giving you that connect to all the things you have here, and you feel like this man is beating you, but because of the benefit of being like a citizen or like a permanent resident or whatnot, you feel trapped in that kind of relationship. How does the person?
And this is a relationship where you've not gotten all the things you need, right?
Some
Like
have
the reason
not.
why you,
Some have
the
not.
reason why, because if you're going to marry someone just because of the access, okay, it's either have you gotten the access or you're yet to get the access.
Some, even if you get the access, you know that the woman can actually write the letter to immigration and can revoke it for you, and saying that you obtained it under fraud. So those are part of the fears where men and women are trapped in things like that just because of what they've done based on immigration status.
That is why you should not even go into relationships. See, don't go into relationships because of those reasons, because that's the thing. She's abroad. See, don't go into a relationship because of those reasons. Because when you get trapped, what I would tell you to do is leave. And of course, that would be a waste. That's what's the point? No, for me, what's the point? If I tell you to leave and you leave, that means you're saying, oh, okay, the whole reason why you did it in the first place, there's no point to it. So don't even do it in the first place. Like that is not a reason to go into a marriage or a relationship. Like I'm sure people would even, if you need help, you can even just talk to people and say, okay, I need your help. Can you do this for me? If it's mutual. Do you understand? Instead of you going with the pretense of, okay, I'm going because I love you or he loves me. You understand? Don't go into relationship like, because you'll be stuck. You're put that it's the same example as the financial relationship. Because they have something on you, you're dependent on them for a reason, so they can do anyhow. Basically, and there's nothing you're able to do about it. So you either endure the abuse and hope you don't die, or pray you don't die, or you leave and just say fuck it. Do you understand? Because eventually it's one of those two things. You either leave and just say fuck it, the whole whatever you're trying to get from him or her, or just you don't go into a relationship because of love alone.
No, you don't. Love isn't everything, but you have to love yourself first. I believe that if you love yourself, you won't even stay in an abusive relationship. That's what I feel.
Basically, I think is replying to because dating someone because you need something from them.
Okay.
You don't want to because of your own selfish reasons. It's wrong. It's unfair to that other person. It doesn't make you a good person. When you're going to, especially when you're deceiving them, you're making them feel okay, you love them, and then you're going into that relation just because you want something from them. That's unfair. You shouldn't do that at all. Like, don't. If it's mutual, if you tell that person, okay, I'm dating you, I'm in this relationship with you just because I need, then okay, you're letting that person know. But don't just come and say, because I want this, I'm going to deceive that person till I get what I want. When that person eventually knows, in fact, it might even be intentional. Okay, oh, this is she thinks she's using me, or he thinks he's using me. I'm going to make life hot. Do you understand? So it's just better to be honest. Just be.
Immigration is another way of being trapped in an abusive relationship or marriage. I'm speaking out of experience. I got to walk away from the marriage because the marriage is now under condition. Wow.
It's better. Just leave. Don't put yourself in that position in the first place. And if you're going to
money team for sharing that, thank you for sharing.
And so if you enter that relationship, you just have to be ready to deal with whatever comes with it, because that is not actually a love relationship or a relationship. Do you get that? Is like a contract. So that is not actually a relationship. So you're going into it with the mindset of whatever happens. I'm going to take it like that. So you should not even come and ask me for advice, because I'm going to say, oh, you knew this, it was a 50-50 chance and you took it because you know this could happen. So
one thing I wanted to actually point out is never say you want to travel with the aim of trying to get papers from somebody. it is a very bad reason. I believe that you having peace in your life, it should be for yourself. Now, when your peace is now dependent on another human being, and that is where there is a problem, because your peace will be dependent. You know what, even when the person is doing something wrong, you don't want to offend the person, because you know that the person can just call whatever number they're calling in their country and say, hello, he's beating me. And some women do it. They put in bite marks, beat themselves, and call 911 or whatever number you're or 999 and say, hello, he has been beating me. And they will show the marks to the cops. And because you are, what they call it, you had times of your agreement. Oh, he was beating me because I told him I was not going to sign his citizenship papers. And once they hear that, you get deported immediately. So don't even go in for that reason in the first place. Before I go to the next reading, Bade, please, I need a favor from you. And if this thing goes off, like when the 1 hour clock gets off, please can you help me just screen munch the once, like let me share it. But before you share it, let me screen munch that page that shows the amount of people, so we can. I always try to add it when I'm doing like the flyer. Thank you very much. So another thing I wanted to tell you, the person who's both knife and the neck and your neck, correct. I've never even seen it down. I've never seen it. Yeah, you were saying something.
And you know how human beings are, like we tend to we love this power, like we want to feel powerful over someone. Do you understand? So when they feel you are their mercy, that is when they tend to misbehave. Because when you're in a relationship, the reason why you respect each other or you try to treat each other better is because you know that, okay, this person is not tied to me in any way. I love this person. I don't want to lose that person, so I would not misbehave. But when you now know that this person is not going anywhere, regardless of how much I misbehave, you tend to overdo it.
True. True.
Like you do any, like you just start misbehaving to show them that, okay, fine, you're not going anywhere, I can't do anything. Do you understand? We want to show that power. So just don't stop putting yourself at the mercy of people. Like when you do those things, I'm not even going to say don't do it, because if you do it, you know what is going to happen. So you should be able to take responsibility of your actions. So don't come crying and saying, oh, this person is mistreating me, especially if you lie to the person. If you lie that, okay, I love you, I want to marry you, but you're not, it's fake. You just want it because you want that marriage or relationship just because of what they can offer you. If the person finds out and the person starts misbehaving or showing you pepe, don't even think of complaining or start, because you brought it to yourself. You brought it upon yourself. Basically.
But one thing you do still, like Bade said earlier, is walk away. There is no gain in them carrying your corpse out of the house. What's the point? Never go into any relationship for financial gain, immigration status, anything. Never. It's not worth it. And people that deceive other people to go into those relationships, please, whatever demon is that is possessing you, stop it. It doesn't make any sense. I want to talk about disability. Now, when the person is physically dependent on the other person, do you think is a form, something that can form some sort of abuse to the other from the other party?
Of course. Like definitely. It's like it's still, when you depend on someone, it is when they feel that, okay, you don't have anywhere to go. And just because you're physically dependent on somebody doesn't mean that is just the person you can be dependent. Like that is not the only person. Like don't feel that, don't make that person feel, or don't even make yourself feel that, okay, you have nobody else, or there's nowhere else for you to go. If they're abusing you, you should still leave, because you're just disabled, you're not dead. Do you understand? So you have to protect that life that you have. Just leave. I will still give you the same advice. I'm sure you have a family. I'm sure, even aside, not even a family, I'm sure aside that man or that woman that you think there's nobody else, I'm sure there's somebody else that loves you. Which is what I tell people in abusive relationships that think that, okay, you can't, there's nobody else that would love them as much. Someone had actually told me before that she doesn't feel like there's anybody else that can love her the way the guy loves her, which that is what she's saying. And I'm like, that you can't say that. There are so many other people that would love you when they meet you. The same way this guy loved you, he didn't love you from birth. He met you and he loved you. There was something he loved about you. Yes. Same way you would somebody else that would love you, even love you more than this guy loves you.
Yes.
Do you understand? So leave. There are some people, let's say your family, that love you. Remember their love. Go back to those people. Yes,
can be the abuser. Someone, yes, emotional abuse, and you're like, is it because I'm in this wheelchair? And the person goes on crying and crying, and gets us feeling bad. And it's like, oh, you know what? It's true. Probably I'm acting this way because of that. And you start putting yourself in a position where the blackmail is working.
And you won't be able to live, especially if you think you're a good person. Well, imagine when you've always thought you were a decent person, you try to treat people with kindness, and then someone is telling you, oh, you're mean. Do you understand? It can mess up with your psyche. Like, it can really mess you up, because you start going the extra mile. Start trying to do what you don't normally do just to please that person. Do you understand? That is emotional blackmail. Is it because I'm handicapped? That is why you can't bring me. Do you understand? You start going the extra miles to make that person happy, or to do that person's bids. Like,
it's not even extra miles. Going out of your way to even do wrong things just to satisfy that person. That's abuse.
Yeah.
That's abuse.
That's abuse. And to be able to recognize it, please, when you see, and don't feel guilt. There's this guilt of living. This guilt that, okay, am I a bad person for living? When you feel threatened, when you're starting to feel threatened, it might be mentally, it might be physically, it might be emotionally, leave that person, regardless of how they look or if they are disabled. Like, you might try to get up for them, but if you're starting to feel threatened, please leave immediately. Don't let anybody abuse, like, don't let anybody mess with your mind and start thinking, because just because you're not having scars or bruises doesn't mean that you're not affected. So sometimes just leave. So some people are emotionally abused that they end up killing themselves. They end up committing suicide. So when you start feeling like, okay, you're starting to feel threatened, you're starting to feel not okay with yourself, please just leave. Or with the relationship as a whole, just leave. Don't feel guilty. Don't be bullied into, because some people would actually bully you into staying in that relationship. So don't be bullied. Don't allow yourself get bullied. Yeah.
So I don't support. I had one that I don't support leaving immediately. BJ Fabs, I am very sorry. Everybody will start feeling like a bad person, start feeling less of them. Leonette, you're very correct. BJ Fabs, it's very important that you leave once you start seeing the signs. If you're not even married, it's wonderful. So don't worry, you will not be single for life. And if you're single, please fulfill purpose. I've not seen any book that they said that if you don't get married, you will not fulfill purpose. So if you don't get married, your life will be less than how it is. No, I've never heard. What do we say about marriages that felt like it was going to crash, but they're standing? Yes, and we said something. When we mean leave, we're not saying that go and get divorced tomorrow morning. When we mean leave, we said separate yourself from that toxic environment first. So if you are probably living together in the same house, please get somewhere you can stay. At least like an Airbnb, or if it's like a let or what not. Go and stay somewhere that is free from that abusive relationship for that moment. Like she gave an example, a man that was abusing his wife for a very long time. She got separated from him. He went through anger management and everything. They are now better. He has become a better person, and now they're over 10 years in marriage. So we're not saying that go and get the divorce the next morning. We are saying first get yourself out of that toxic relationship. Another funny reason that I saw that made me laugh was when you become the savior of the person. And what do I mean? I always tell people that you cannot change another human being. Don't become assistant Holy Ghost or commissioner to God, that you're the one that will change the man. No, my friend, and your friends are telling you, you're like, no, he loves me, I can change him. Auntie, you cannot change any man. That is the bitter truth. We cannot change anybody. But the moment you start thinking that, oh, okay, I didn't hear that part. Oh, okay, you came in later. So the moment you start thinking that you're the savior of the person, what do you think, Bade? The moment you start feeling like the savior of the person, you feel like the reason why you're in the trap is because you want to save that person.
I think it's similar to this better or worse situation. Thinking, okay, I can make it would change. See, it would happen like you talk to friends would actually talk to the person and say, oh, okay, you should leave this relationship. He promised it would change, and it would change. Do you understand? Just be patient with him. Okay, the last time he beat me was 4 weeks ago. Usually he beats me with like every 2 weeks. And that is the woman trying to give excuses. Okay, this is 4 weeks ago. You see, it's becoming longer. Do you see? I'm talking to him, he's going to change. Do you understand? I start thinking, oh, if I leave him, it's going to become worse. Or I'm the only one that can manage him. Yes, I understand. Yes, I understand. I understand that. See, let me because if I leave him now, it's going to become worse. He has already told me that if I leave him, his life is ruined. Do you understand? Like some girls. Okay, the guy told them repeatedly that if you leave me, I'm dead, or if you leave me, I'll kill myself. Do you understand? So they are trying not to make him kill himself. Do you understand? They're staying because he's going to change. If he says he's going to change by next month, if it doesn't change, I should leave him. And by next month, he's going to say something else again. And she's staying because if I leave him now, I'm scared of what he would do to himself. Yeah, I understand that. The savior thing. I understand. It happens a lot. So there are so many reasons. There are so many reasons why people stay in abusive relationships. You just have to understand where they are coming from, then advise them accordingly. Because you're not going to give the same advice to someone that is not even. There's lots of financially independent women. They are financially independent and they are in abusive relationships. You understand? You don't give them the advice of someone that is in it because of the finance. Because joining feel you mean
by the separate, because those of us joining feel you mean quit by the way you say leave. So what we say is, most times when we say leave, we are saying get out of that, separate yourself from that toxic environment, leave that toxic environment. The difference between leave and divorce, so there are two different things. When we mean leave, we mean separate yourself, get yourself out of that toxic environment. And one thing I want Bade to touch, I think your 1 hour should be very, very close. Please help me share that thing on your timeline, and please help me screen munch the page before you share it. Now, one thing that I want you to touch about is isolation. A lot of people isolate themselves when they get out of that toxic environment. And I feel like it's very important that you seek counsel instead of isolating yourself. But I want you to talk about it before the 1 hour clock ticks.
One thing I've realized that it's very good to how to healing. The healing process is talking about it. You have to talk about it, and it doesn't even have to be with a professional. Because when you start thinking, where do I get a professional, you might end up not talking about it at all. Talk about it with people that love you. There are lots of people that support. I'm sure they are friends. Even though I'm sure that those friends that tell you to stay in it, when you eventually leave, those friends will still come around and still, do you understand, and still support you. So talk about it. If you can get a professional, fine. If you can't, talk about it with friends, people that love you. Talk about it with them. How did you get the struggle or the things you went through? It will help you process and make you also help you understand your faults. Do you understand? Talking about it make you understand, okay, what you did wrong, what you did good. Do you understand? People that genuinely love you, yes, people that genuinely love you, they would help you, they will make you better. Talking always helps. That is what I've realized. It doesn't matter how much of an introvert you are. I'm not saying you should talk about it with lots of people. Even if it's just 2 people that you talk about it with, talk about it with them, share experiences, and then you realize that it's not so. Because the thing about when you're in something, when you don't talk about it, you feel you're the only one in it. You feel nobody else can understand it. It's until you talk about it, then you realize that okay, there's nothing new. Like if your exact story, somebody else has gone through it. Imagine there are some things we said that the girl that left, she said that she mentioned being in an emotional and physical abusive relationship.
Yes. True.
When you talk about it, I'm sure even talking about saying it out that she was in that kind of relationship, it's freeing. It makes you know that okay, you're not the only one. Other people can relate with it. And it would also help you heal faster. So talk about it with people that love you. And just share.
And another
I don't
thing,
know, there are support groups in Nigeria that I know of. I'm thinking of starting one. When you can share stories, when you can let other people know that okay, you're not the only one. You understand? You don't feel so damaged. Some people feel damaged. They feel damaged. They feel like they're not complete. They're not worthy of a new relationship. When you make them realize that okay, you're not the only one going through it. Okay, there are some people that have gone through it and they are doing so well in their new relationships, or they were able to get over it. Like it helps a lot. It really helps. So talking about it really, I think don't isolate yourself. Isolating yourself would make you like your mind. The mind is very tricky. Sometimes you might even still feel like you don't feel free. So it's when you talk about it that you realize that okay, you're not alone, and there are actually people that are willing to help you get over it. So
another thing that someone actually said is in a comment here, Diary of a Niger Christian Girl said, but there are people who discriminate those who leave, and that's why people choose to stay in the abusive relationship. Well, their discrimination is their business. I believe that part of the things people also see is that, especially when they've had children before, they believe that nobody will marry me, nobody will this, nobody will talk to me. My brothers, my sisters, I beseech you to be very sincere. I know it's very hard. Yes, counseling is very good. I know it's very hard. You have to first heal in yourself. Heal in yourself. Get out of that area. Get out of that environment where you believe that it's not good. Then avoid friends that always used to benefit from that relationship.
I was going to say that.
Okay.
Someone was, if you're saying that, what about those, like, what you mentioned about people talking to people that will make you feel bad for leaving? Please stay away from people like that. Those are not good for you. Those people are not good for you. Stay away from people that is going to, anybody that tells you that manage, they are comparing it to some people that their partners are beating or abusing and they are still there. Those people don't love you. Anybody that loves you would not tell you to stay in an abusive relationship.
Sure.
Like anybody that is encouraging you to stay is the number one person you should stay away from the minute you get out of that relationship, because of course that person is going to try to convince you to go back into that relationship or make you feel bad for leaving. See, it's also possible that one thing I've realized that African parents or African relatives, what they do, it's coming from a place of love. They want to stay in relationship because of course nobody wants their children to have a broken family. So they try to encourage you to stay as much as you can. So when you leave, they might stay away from those parents as well. They're your parents. Eventually you come back to them. You move to, but for you to heal, you have to move away from those kind of negativity. So don't let anybody make you. So if someone is saying, "Oh, you should have stayed," or at least you did not end up in the hospital. Do you understand? And should be just a few bruises. Leave, like move away from that person. Like just totally away. When you've healed, you can come back and continue your friendship or your love or your relationship. But make sure before you heal, move away from them and move towards those that would encourage you and make you feel good about yourself. So basically, if they say it once, Just that is enough incentive for you to leave. Yes, so sorry for you're
Now,
saying.
one thing I always tell people when we say heal, 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 the first thing you do, and I plead with people, the first thing you do is forgive yourself. Now, because you will give thousands of reasons and you will give thousands of excuses why you didn't do this, why you didn't do that, why you were like this, why you were like that. You give yourself so much excuse that when the person begins to guilt trip you, you start justifying those reasons the person gave about yourself. So heal first. And someone's asking a question. I think people carry the baggage of previous abusive relationships into a new one. And I'm going to touch on that a bit because a lot of people feel that when they carry that baggage, they feel like they have the same mindset. So if the guy even tries to do something better than the last guy, you start comparing. You start doing that when the guy just wants to hold your hand and be like, you're very. That's why before you go into another relationship, make sure you are healed mentally, you are dependent financially, you're forgiving yourself, you are healed emotionally. Because by the time you're going to a new one, you're going as a brand new person, but your mind and your eyes are wide open and at alert. So you don't just fall in love and pour yakata on the floor. You are actually falling in love with your brains working, your eyes opening, and you being calculative and sure that this is what you want to go into. So give yourself time to heal, forgive yourself, love yourself. Make sure that you're not doing a rebound, because a lot of people do rebounds. So they see that this guy that is coming to join you already knows what this other guy was doing wrong. So if he has what he's doing wrong, then he becomes your best friend. You become very close. You start talking together, and the guy uses the advantage and the window of opportunity because he knows that, oh, you're the kind of girl that just needs someone that will hug you and hold you and be around you. And most of them will come in through like that. And the moment they do that, you are stuck into another relationship where you feel, oh, this guy is nice. Oh, this guy is this. Oh, he's not even like that last guy. That last guy doesn't even open the door for me. This one is opening the door. That one doesn't give you allowance. But this new person is already doing a couple of things the older guy doesn't has done to you before. But you are feeling like, oh, it's different. It's different. It's different. So it's very important, like Bade said, heal. Make sure you forgive yourself. Let go of that past. Let go of the scars. If there's a child in between, I promise you that God is gonna give you his best, and his best is that he's gonna accept you as you are, a man that will not judge you based on your past. Even if you meet his family and they're judging you based on it, he'll be the man to stand up for you and say, this is the woman I want to marry, and this is the person I want to spend my life's journey with, which is very important that you have in a partner.
Yeah, very good.
Now, I want to talk about the vision of love and ships, because I know that people like send you questions, send you different things, and people try to bring their world into your world. Let's use that word. Like try to bring it. So what's the vision of love and ships as a brand?
Okay, so Love and Shift started as a matchmaking service. There are so many single people out there, so I just wanted to bring people together, which is still one of the vision, because there are so many good people out there. They are just not meeting each other. That's one thing I've realized. There are so many good people, like single people, they're just not meeting each other. So I want to bring them together. So building a community of people that understand healthy relationships. I believe there is this cycle that's been going on with the past generation. Do you get? They keep passing wrong information. Things we see, their relationships, they are putting how would I put it? They are passing wrong information to the younger generation. So I want us to break that cycle. So getting a community, making a community of people that understand love, they understand relationships. Building that community is the vision, basically. Yeah. People that know better, yes. People that know better. So we won't just keep repeating the cycle of unstable, unhealthy relationships every time. Like just break the cycle. Yeah, so that's what Love and Shifts is about, promoting healthy relationships.
And do you think that in this generation we are actually well educated and informed? You said something about the older generation where people feel like, well, I've been in this, my mother was in the marriage for 30 years, so I have to also be in the marriage for 30 years. What do you feel? Do you think that people are well, what they call it, educated when it comes to choices to make when they're going into relationships?
I actually think people are getting, not, let's not say well educated. I think people are getting educated. They are, of course, not everyone, but I think majority are starting to open their eyes to the fact that, number one, not everyone will get married. I think we have to understand that. Not everyone would get married. And we should also allow ourselves make mistakes. We should know that we would always make mistakes. So if you make mistakes, be able to realize that, okay, this is a mistake, and leave immediately. Example of the lady, I gave an example earlier, that she got married for less than 3 months and she left because she was starting to get depressed. That is a lady that is informed that, okay, leave when I'm, do you understand? How are you sure these people know better? Well, I try to pass as
to be educated though. If you're educated, if you seek counsel, you get it's just like trying to recycle something. So the essence of recycling is preservation, right? So preserving what we have right now, preserving marriage is a beautiful thing. Marriage is something that the reason why God orchestrated it was to for a lot of for purpose fulfillment in every sphere of life. So it means that people need to be informed, people need to be educated, people need to be counseled, and that's part of the things that a platform also does.
how are you sure these people know better? Like, there are so many happy marriages out there.
Yes,
do you get?
There are.
The thing about media is that also, like, the bad things, the bad stuffs, they tend to promote the bad stuffs more. So which is why that is what my page is for, promoting the good ones, like letting people know that, okay, they're actually good ones. And that is how people are getting to know better. There are actually good marriages out there, happy marriages. You can actually have a happy marriage. Someone, I think on a post I did the other time, someone was actually commenting and saying, like, it's fake. Not every, of course,
the shout out the husband gave to the wife
is good, like, is happy. Not everyone, but not everyone is bad as well. Do you understand? There are lots of happy marriages that they don't come out and say, oh, we are happy, because people tend to listen more to the bad ones. So I'm trying to, in my own little way, I'm trying to let people understand that, okay, they are good. You can actually have a very happy marriage and a healthy marriage. So let people understand that, okay, someone is saying marriage is a choice and not by force. Of course, marriage is not by force.
It
needs to be happy. The point, why would you be in a relationship where you're not happy? Fine, everything won't be rosy, everything won't be happy. Of course, you have some downtimes, but the downtime should not be more than the good times. No, marriage, that is not a marriage. So we all have to understand that a good marriage is possible, it is achievable. So you don't have to get stuck in a bad one because you think, oh, there is no better one out there. There are better marriages, there are good marriages out there. So just have to work and pray that, okay, you pray first and then work at being better. Like, okay, I'm going to do better. When both two people come to the conclusion or agreement that, okay, we are going to give this the best shot. That is going to, of course, a good marriage, it would result in a good marriage. But when someone is thinking, okay, let's just see how it goes, that's a marriage. Like, of course, when someone is not giving people are not giving their best, when people think that's why I call goals. When you know that, okay, this is the goal we are trying to achieve, we want to have a happy marriage, you work towards it. But when you don't know there's a happy marriage somewhere, you're not going to relax and think, okay, however it goes, I'm just going to take it the way it comes. But we're all going to work, when we are all working towards happy marriages, then I'm sure would have a happy one. So enlightenment, getting educated, it's one of those which I'm sure I'm trying to do. basically.
That's amazing. And one thing that just popped in my heart that I wanted to share is, if you look at the components of love, love is patient, love is kind, love doesn't love looks past wrong. So it is important that you understand that the real definition of love is not abuse. The real definition of love is not bringing you down. The real definition of love is to uplift. You know, a merry heart is good medicine. So make sure that in whatever relationship you are happy. It's someone that when you see that person, butterfly runs through your belly. Even days that are down, you still go back and you say, okay, I made the right decision. You know, I was looking at one page on Facebook, and they asked the question, would you marry the person that you are married to again? And to be very serious, 70% of people said no. Someone even wrote never. And I look at it and I was praying in my heart. I'm like, what kind of life? I was trying to imagine kind of lifestyle they were living in that marriage, where someone can say, I will never marry this person if I could make that decision
And
over.
they are in that marriage.
And they're still in that marriage, Bade. They're still in that marriage. And they're stuck for most of them. So it's very important. And we know that the genesis of marriage started with God. So make sure that God is your guide. He's the only one that knows the reason why he wanted marriage to be. He was the only one. So it's important that when you want to go into a relationship, when you want to go into marriage, it is important that you as a person, you make sure that you're seeking counsel through God and through people. Be informed, be an informed person, be a person that seeks counsel through whatever religion you're in. Make sure that you're seeking counsel through that religion. And as we know that as God being the creator of marriage, he has the map, he has the guide, he has the waypoint for what marriage should be like. So if you feel like, oh, marriage is not for me at the moment, or marriage is not for me at all, make sure that your life is not dependent on that. There are so many single people that in their
You feel you're not emotionally there yet.
Yes.
When you feel
don't
mentally there. No, don't let anybody force you or make you convince you that you should get married when you're not ready. For yourself and for the other party, like, don't let anybody convince you to get married when you don't feel ready. Because you have to be. It's not just emotionally; you have to be mentally ready. That's okay. You're going into this to make it work. And
so, but I have this story here. I had a friend back in uni who already had a mindset that her husband would cheat on her. So our concept of marriage is already tainted. In her mind, it's to prepare herself for the worst. I've heard women that say that if the man doesn't cheat on you, the man is not man enough. And I was sad. I was sad because it is so unfortunate that you believe that in love, cheating is something that is good or is cool. Love is not any of those things that people paint.
It's one of the first point I made about society normalizing unhealthy behaviors. Like when we our parents tell us that a man that cheats doesn't mean that he doesn't love you. You should not. Why would you leave your marriage because a man is cheating? You get, society has normalized it. Even not even our parents, even friends. I have friends that would say things like that. Do you understand? That they tell, and now stop passing this information. Stop making it circulate. Of course, it's circulated enough, but don't stop making it seem like it's not normal. Cheating is not normal. I try as much as possible to tell good people that don't cheat exist. Yes. And so when people are saying, "Oh, I'm going to everyone cheats," I was like, no, not everyone cheats. If you're willing to accept someone that cheats, it's fine. But don't convince other people that everyone cheats. I am going to marry a man that would not cheat. You just have to believe it. But if you're going into a marriage with the mentality that everyone cheats, of course, you're going to accept it, which make it normal. And you're still going to pass it to your own child or your daughter that every man cheats. And the cycle continues. Do you understand? I don't intend to tell my child or my daughter or my son that every man cheats. So you have it's all these things, they are mental. You have to be able to know what, sometimes you need to, things that we digest, we have to filter it a lot, because there are so many things going on social media now that when you read it, you be, sometimes you would even believe it, and then you'd be like, okay, you come back to it and you would be like, okay, I should not digest this, and then you filter it out.
Sure.
So please, not every man cheats, not every woman cheats. If you want to accept it, I'm not going to say don't accept it, because it's a personal choice at this point.
Yeah.
But don't just don't put it on people. Don't start passing that information around, or that everybody cheats. It is not normal. Cheating in a relationship is not normal. If you feel you cannot be in a faithful relationship, let the other party know that, okay, I am not capable of being
with this particular thing. Like,
you understand, but
is key. God bless you. Should get mature before moving to marriage. Not just mature by age. Age maturity is different from marriage maturity. Maturity as a human being is very important, and that was one of the things that my mom was we were talking about last week. And we're like, if you know you're struggling with someone, and this is an example, you as a man, you have a secretary, very hot young lady, and you see that she's distracting you. If you know that your wife is not mature enough to handle that kind of information, go and meet your spiritual leader. Make sure you talk to the person. Sir, this thing is going on, and this. You will seek counsel and receive counsel. And I pray that people that are trapped in relationships like that get to come out of it, get counsel, get healed of it. And I pray that our generation becomes better.
Yeah,
this has been an amazing time. Thank you very much, Bade, for having us on the show, for being a very great guest on the show, which it's gonna be saved on your timeline. But I am super happy that we're able to do this, and I pray that people get free. I pray that people stay woke, stay enlightened, get educated, and I pray that people seek counsel in whatever form. So you can follow at Love and Ships, get informative, educative, beautiful quotes for every day. They do amazing work, and God bless you, Bade. So people, yes, we're about to round up on the show today. We'll release Bade to go and enjoy our day, because I think it's almost 8 p.m. in Nigeria right now. But I am sure that everybody had an amazing time today. For everyone that commented, stayed on the show, I say a big thank you. God bless you. I had an amazing time with every one of you too. And I pray that for those that are still single, for those that are not yet married, you will not marry the wrong person. You will not marry the person that will not make you have peace. I pray that God will give you a great and great resting relationship where people don't just see your marriage and say relationship goals, but want to know how you have worked on yourself. And people, yes, you need to work on yourself too. It's not just about the abusive person or whatnot, right? Come again, buddy. Next week we're gonna have a couple. Yes, we're gonna have a couple next week on the show. Just follow at Aanu Adedire, and you're gonna see the flyers at Life Matters with Aanu Adedire. You're gonna see the flyer for next. We're gonna have a couple who'll be talking a little about this, and also be talking about in-law management, because in-laws also are part of it. Some in-laws still want you to be stuck in those kind of relationships, so we bind ourselves and cast out every kind of in-law like that. So yes, next we'll be talking about in-law management, and the week after we'll be talking with a particular lady that actually went through this kind of, was in an abusive relationship for so many years, and now she's out. She's now a confident coach, and she's doing amazing work. So yes, this month is a month of family, marriage, and relationship, and I want you to not miss any episode of the show. So from me, myself, and to say a very big thank you to Bade for being an amazing guest on the show. God bless you. We pray that everything that you're trying to put together, on Love and Ships, and also in your life, that God will bring it to an accomplishment in Jesus' name. And I pray that Nigeria becomes better, our world becomes better, and we pray for peace And yes, we're grateful for having you on this show. So have a wonderful day, have an amazing week, and
Yeah.
enjoy yourself.
Bye bye.
Bye. Up the show. Yes, I'm back on my own personal page, and I'm trying to say big thank you to everybody. We're sorry for the glitch earlier because we couldn't had my guest up on the show, but right now we had an amazing 1 hour. It was amazing, people. It was an amazing time, and I think it's now more than 1 hour. Probably is my own phone. I need to lay hand on all my phones. But yes, we had an amazing time on the show, and I'm sure that next week you won't want to miss any moment of this. So we're running up the show, and I pray that as you go this week, may the Lord be with you. May the Lord cause His face to shine upon you. May the Lord give you peace in all your ways. I pray that everything you lay your hands upon shall prosper. I pray that you will not have any reason to be stuck in an abusive relationship, and I pray that everything that you do, in everywhere and everywhere you go, I pray that God helps you to be a better person and be renewed in your heart and in your mind. So from me, myself, and I would say a big thank you. Don't forget, the video will be on my YouTube channel. Go subscribe on the YouTube channel at Aanu Adedire, and I pray God blesses you. And you can watch previous episodes of Life Matters with Adedire. Share the flyer when you see our flyer. Share it on your Insta story. Share it on your Facebook, and let it spread out. Let the word spread to everyone. And we pray that people that are stuck in this kind of relationships become better and will fight it and be able to come out of it, and seek counsel, get help, so that they don't remain stuck in this kind of relationships. So from me, myself, and I, again, I say a big thank you. God bless you, and I'll see everyone next week on an amazing show.